All right. Happy Motivational Monday. Welcome to our legendary leadership call. I am Ed Blunt, your ambassador of training and development. And just wanted to start off the week. We have a little over 2 weeks remaining in the month of November, which is pretty awesome. Excited about how we're going to really push and position ourselves moving into 2022. But I want to do some housekeeping. Some of you may have already received or viewed the video announcement by our CEO, Mr. John McKillop. Some of you may have not received it or viewed it yet. Just want to give you all a quick update. We are postponing. We're not going to have the official launch, the turning the switch on today. And if you, I think most of you here were on the call that we did in the evening where we talked about, one of the things I said was developers are always over time and over budget. And one of the things that we have to be very mindful of is not giving the keys to our business. We can't hand that over to developers. So in other words, you don't want to build and develop your organizations around whenever the developers are going to get their stuff together and get the kinks worked out. That's just a natural part of that space. You know, when you're dealing with technology, obviously, especially with a 3x10 matrix and you're placing people and compensation is based on that, all of that has to be tip top before we can flip the switch, because that's going to have a direct impact on how quickly we get money in your pocket. Okay, so there's a delay. I sincerely hope that each and every one of you were plugged in to the call that we did last week and where we talked about handling these situations. Here's one thing that I can promise you. I can promise you that there will be challenges, but I can say from where I'm sitting and what I know, what we're doing, money does not have to be one of them. Okay, it doesn't, money doesn't have to be one of them. There'll be challenges, technical challenges, and you know, bumps and glitches. We can handle that. But when you look at the dynamics of what's happening in the travel space, especially the leisure travel space, and how we're positioned, I want you to continue to have the proper framing, which is what? Well, all of you were living your lives prior to 2 weeks ago. You were living your life, you were making your money, you have your careers and respective businesses and whatever else you were doing. So that continues, okay? You saw and got wind of this pre-launch and you said yes for a lot of different reasons. And so now you're here. But nothing has changed with how you've been living your life. Nothing is impacted. So when we have a delay around technology, part of your responsibility is to know how to properly frame it. So I know many of you, which I'm wanting to hear momentarily, many of you were really just absolutely hitting it this weekend. And you've taken a lot of applications this weekend because people are excited about, one, getting back involved in travel or being a part of travel for the first time, but two, they understand timing in business, and being at something even before it starts, they understand the importance of that. So part of your job as leaders is to help frame that as we're moving along, because I can promise you this, I don't know how long it's going to take for the developers to get these things corrected, but I do know that a year from now, no one's going to care. That I can promise you that no one will care. The people will only be talking about, oh yeah, you remember, you know, first couple of weeks, first couple of months, we had this bump, that bump. You're going to be laughing about it because of what's taking place in your business and in your bank accounts. That's just what comes with being a pioneer. You've heard this before. Pioneers, they take all of the arrows, but they also get the lion's share of the land. So we're taking some arrows right now, and that's just part of the deal. So would love to hear. So one of the challenges that I issued, and the assignment was to go, just go. And you had to put go up on your refrigerator, on your laptop, on your dashboard, on the bathroom mirror. And your assignment was to go, just take action, regardless of what else is happening, even if it's a window, an hour here, an hour there. So let me start with Van, because he kicked off as he was jumping on, just talking about what his headspace is in terms of the work that he and Kayla are putting in. So Van, give us a glimpse, if you would, of your weekend and your activity, and share that if you would, please.
Hey, morning, everybody. Man, like I said, Ed, this was, me and Kayla hadn't done nothing in years in this industry. We did it a long time ago and then kind of got out, for different reasons, and thought we may not ever do this again. And then when Eric called us about this, it was just a breath of fresh air to do this again. And when you said put go on there, everywhere I walk in our house, from our mirror, and then you walk down one of the halls, there's another, like just a mirror in our hallway. Kayla has written go everywhere throughout the house. So you can't help but to think, when you see that, to just go. Like that is all you want to do. And sorry, I gotta turn my camera on, Ed. This is this was from just this weekend. So
wow.
Yeah, so we're just going. That's all we can do right now is just go. And like I said, man, we haven't been this excited in a long time about something. So yeah, being in the beginning, being here on well, I don't even know if we're ground floor. Maybe we're in the basement here. So being here in the basement, we're excited, and we're just reaching out to everybody, and it's you'd be surprised at how many people that we've reached out to said, I've been waiting for something like this. I'm glad you called. Matter of fact, like one guy I reached out to in South Carolina, that was his exact words. I reached out, said, hey, you open to doing travel? And he said, please call me. I call him. I don't know how many calls I've done with him this weekend. And these are most of his team's apps. Like, he's just like, call. I mean, I was up till midnight last night doing calls with him, and then back up early this morning doing the same. So I love it, man. We're just super excited.
So Van, let me ask you something from a practical standpoint. The applications that you have, I'm taking it that they're numbered, correct?
Yes. Yep. They're numbered. And then, we'll be specifically placed, the best way to build in this unilevel and matrix and things like that. But yeah, absolutely.
Okay. And this is a point for everyone here. So Van just showed you a spread of applications, and they're going to go in the order with which they received. So there's nothing that's going to change that. So if we turn the system on next week, or we turn it on tomorrow, that's how they're going to go in. It doesn't have any impact on the calls he's going to make when we're done here. It has no impact on the leadership and development that he's going to pour into his team as we continue to unfold and evolve. So that's the beauty of it, ladies and gents. Like, you gotta, I mean, I cannot stress enough that those people that said yes, and they know that their spot is secure, they feel really good. They're not asking Van, hey, what exact time is it? No, they just know that they got their spot and it's locked in. So that's awesome, man. That's a great share.
Yeah. And then Ed, what I'm also doing is if somebody is sharing with someone else, I just like paperclip the apps that they're gathering and numbering those for those people as well. That way, again, we can keep some type of order in the chaos. Let's say that.
Absolutely. There's a great quote out of 10X where he says, if you're not making a mess, then you're not about to do anything significant. Like, you got it. That's part of what it is making a mess. So thank you for sharing that, man. That's awesome. Brooke asked, what are you saying? She wants to know, what are you saying?
What? I don't know if you want to go my route, but honestly, two of the things that I say is, hey, I'm getting, because a lot of people know that I've done travel before that I've reached out to. Like, so the ones that know I've done travel, I literally just tell them, hey, I'm getting ready to start an idea and travel from the ground up. Do you want to hear about it? And I've not had anybody say, no, I don't want to hear about travel. Travel's stupid. I don't ever want to hear about that. Some of the, and the new, even the new ones, like people that, you know, I'm reaching out to that don't know that I've ever done travel. I just let them know, hey, I'm getting ready to start a business in travel. Would you like to hear about it? And that's it. I mean, I'm just, you know, I think, Ed, if we've talked about being different. So if we've talked about being different in the network marketing space, let's be different. You know, let's not do the bait and switch stuff of, oh, hey, let me tell you something and run by and like sneak you in the car or do any, like, just be open. Because if I was to reach out to a buddy or something like that and we give them almost like the network marketing spill,
Yeah.
the, you know, hey, I want to run something by you and not really say anything, because, you know, we always get the what. They already know. Oh, because they've already been approached 100 times by somebody else about something. So why not just be open and honest and be a breath of fresh air when people ask that, you know, hey, what's it about? Travel. Is it like network marketing? 100%. You know, like, I'm okay with doing those things and being proud of what we're building and the culture that we're creating here. Like, I don't have any issues with that. And I think the more assertive you are with it and the more backbone you have with it, they take you more serious. Like, okay, well, maybe that's a real business. Because some people dance around the network marketing like it's not a real business, but you and I both know that this type of industry can change a lot of people's lives. So why don't we treat it like that?
Amen. Amen. And if you all are watching as Van is speaking and communicating, you can there's a sense of ease and there's a relaxation, but there's also a supreme confidence that's pulsating because it's authentic. He has a very clear and specific point of view, which is why we spent the time we did last week on you all really understanding the power of your come from. And everybody's come from is going to be a little bit different, but you can take that one line that he just shared and you can just implement it because it's true. You may not have Van's years of experience in travel, but it doesn't negate the fact that you're still starting something in travel pre-launch. So awesome, awesome stuff. Really, really great stuff. Is there anyone here? They say yes. Listen, Sharon, you know, it's about sharing the point of view, and now she's like, what do you say next? Go ahead and tell them what you say next after you do that piece.
So I call them up, you know, explain to them what I'm doing. I give them my vision of being on ground floor, let them know, hey, you may once or twice or never get the opportunity to be on the ground floor of something and help co-create something that's going to be special. You know, tell them about what we're doing, and I get them the video over the pre-recorded ones that Eric has done. They watch the video. Some of them don't even need the video. I just kind of explain to them what we're doing with curated travel and how we're doing it. I go, put me in. Like, okay, I want to do this. So, but for the ones that need to see, I just put them on the videos that Eric has done because he's done a great job explaining that, just to make it simple. Now, again, some of them that I more explain it to are some that already know me, but to make it duplicatable and easy for ones that don't know me in that space, I send them the video because, again, I want to teach them that it's that simple to do. I call, explain to them, hey, I'm going to send you this link, watch this video, and go from there.
Simple. Okay. So as you all are continuing to move forward, and I want to ask if there's anyone here that you did something this weekend over the last 72 hours that you surprised yourself. Is there anyone here where you were like, man, I actually did more calls than I thought I could do, or I was nervous and had a little anxiety, but I got it done. So Terry, watch all the videos and you send the video that you want to send. Okay, this is not when people listen to me, when you all start asking, I'm not talking about Sharon. Terry, you watch the videos and you send the one that resonates with you the most. Because it's not like Van has a magic video that he sends that you can't send. It's that he believes in what he's sending. That's the most important part. So find one that resonates with you. That's what you send. But is there anybody here that did something that you surprised yourself? Anyone? Is there anyone here you didn't show anybody, you didn't make any calls? I want you to be honest. Type it in the chat or you can unmute yourself. You didn't talk to anyone, you didn't invite anyone, you didn't show anyone. Is anybody here that didn't do any of these things? Okay, no? Okay, Carla, good. Gabriel had 2 contacts, good. So good, so you actually called some people and you didn't think they would be interested. So let me do this real quick. I'm looking at the chat. That's okay. Travel is a universal language. So I'm gonna share something with you and I want you to look at it. So hopefully you can see this. Can you see the amount of rust that is on this? Is that clear? Can you all see that? You see all
Yes.
that rust that's built up? Okay, good. So this is what a lot of people experience in their brains. I call it the plaque that builds up on the mind. The plaque of negativity, the plaque of unbelief, the plaque of doubting and having a low self-worth, low self-image, low self-esteem, the plaque of poor choices. It just builds up. And what happens over time is that it begins to erode your mind. You start to fall into these patterns of limited thinking and limited behavior when it comes to wanting to have success. And then someone comes along and says, hey, listen, there's an opportunity, there's a way for you to transform your situation. And you get excited by the news because it's good news and you plug in, okay? You plug into the situation. For example, you plugged into this opportunity and you're like, yes, I see more and more people that are traveling, they're doing the leisure thing, airports are humming, resorts are, kicking, cruise ships are continuously being built. Like you get fired up and you get on calls like this. And so what you do is, see, if I were to actually do the work to restore this to its form, well, number one, I'm not going to be able to get it quite back to what it was when I first bought it because it was brand new and everything was clear. It was untouched by the world and the elements of the world. So it was brand new. I'm never going to be able to get it back to that. However, if I do the work, if I get some sandpaper, I could sand this bad boy, I could really attack the rust, I could lay on a new coat, and I could fix it up. But this is what most people do. They don't do any of that. What they do is they'll take whatever the message is, okay? So today's a message of, we're talking about your mindset, right? Mindset Mondays. They take that message and then they'll paint. They paint over the rust, right? So the message, they get fired up, but they paint it over the rust. They spray paint it. And now they go out into the world and they're like, I want to share this opportunity with you. But what's pulsating underneath is all of this wear and tear and decay and rust. Make sure you guys are muted. I can hear somebody moving. Make sure you're muted. So when that takes place, you're literally setting yourself up for failure. You're sabotaging because you haven't done the inner work that we're talking about. And this is what most people do. And you have these patterns of behavior, you have these habits that you have cultivated over a lifetime, and they're coping mechanisms. They've allowed you to navigate certain situations. So for example, some of you all are working a job right now today, and you're not super excited about the job that you have or the income that you're making. You're not super excited about it, but you tolerate it, you tough it out because you know that it's going to help you get what you want, which is a roof over your head, food on the table, a car to drive, etc. Okay, so that's a coping mechanism, and you know how to survive, you know how to navigate it. But what happens is when you're doing something and you don't really feel like you're earning what you're worth, or you feel like you're not being appreciated or you're being devalued, and you do it every single day, 5 days a week, 50 weeks a year, 48, 50 weeks a year with a couple of weeks of vacation, well, over time, it erodes your self-confidence. It erodes your self-esteem, your self-image, your self-worth. So now you come into an opportunity like this, and you know intellectually it makes sense. Of course, travel makes sense. Like travel is permanent. It's never going to go away. People are always going to do that. They're going to want a vacation. You understand that the compensation here is significant, that you could actually make game-changing income coming right out of the gate because the payouts are so heavy coming out of the gate and on the back end. So you intellectually, you get that. You like the way it feels to be a part of these types of people, this type of leadership mindset and cultivation, etc. It feels good. However, you have a pattern of bad behavior when it comes to your self-worth, self-esteem, self-image. So this rust of negativity and poor choices, poor thinking, limited thinking, poverty mindset, it's built up over time. So you cannot get on a call and get instruction, or get on a call and get insight and then expect that everything's going to magically just happen because you got on some calls. We're only here, a few minutes a day, Monday through Friday. And the fact of the matter is that you are spending way more time away from the fire than you are around the fire. So this is what we call the campfire. So we understand that. I understand that the amount of time that you spend away from me or my voice or any leader's voice is way bigger than the amount of time that we're here together. So it is imperative that you get the sandpaper out and you start to put in some sweat equity and start working on this rust. Now, how do you work on the rust? Well, number one, you have to identify what the rust is in your life. Do you have a limiting story? Do you talk to yourself about what you can't do? Do you allow fear and anxiety to dictate your decisions and your choices? Do you allow circumstances that are beyond your control to determine your attitude and your mental state? See, some people, again, for me, I knew and I understood there's going to be delays because like I said, I know developers. It doesn't impact my vision. It doesn't impact my positivity, my vibration, my confidence, because those things are 100% within my control. I know I can't control what the developers are doing or not doing, but I can control how I communicate this vehicle and this opportunity to people that I know want to be a part of it, people that I know are looking for leadership, people that I know want to get back in the travel space. Okay, that is a choice. It is a mindset. So when you identify some of your own self-sabotaging behaviors and thinking, that's called starting to do the sandpaper to work on this rust that's built up over time. That's called the dealing with the plaque. When you go to the dentist, what's the first thing they do? They get that scraper out and they start scraping the plaque off of your teeth because it's built up over time. It's not pleasant. It doesn't feel great. It's a horrible sound, right? That metal thing scraping on your teeth, but it is necessary in order to get closer back to the person that you can be. You want that megawatt smile? Well, you got to put some work in. And it's consistent work over time. You don't brush your teeth once a month. You don't brush your teeth once a week, right? You brush your teeth daily. So once you identify some of your own negative self-sabotaging behavior, parts of your story that you have bought into, that you know it doesn't serve you, how are you talking to yourself? And you know good and doggone well that that conversation is not going to get you to your outcome. It's not going to empower you to lead other people. Now you change that story and you take the time to cultivate a script that can support the leader that you want to be, that can support the outcome that you want to create. Now, I understand, and we'll get into this tomorrow. Part of it is really getting clarity on what that outcome is. So the exercise this past weekend was for you just to go out and invite people to take a look at what's taking place. That was it. I didn't ask you to clearly define your goal or, hey, Ed, I want to make 10,000 a month by, day 90. I didn't ask you to do any of that. I just asked you to go out and introduce people to the experience. Let them see for themselves, and then we'll go from there. Well, now it's really about, what do I want to create over the next 90 days? What specifically would I like to have as an outcome? And you may say, hey, I know for a fact that I want to have a team of 500 people that I'm personally responsible for, that I've actually helped bring in myself in terms of my personals, and then I've helped work through people to bring that in. That's my outcome. 90 days from now, I want a team of 500 people. 90 days from now, I want a team of 5,000 people. So you have some time to kind of get clarity on your outcome, but you gotta do this work here. And when you just put spray paint over rust, that's an accident waiting to happen. That's somebody that's going to quit. That's somebody that's not going to show up every day. That's someone who's not going to be consistent. That's someone who's going to give up on their dreams and their goals because they're not willing to do the inner work to get the outer outcome. The inner roots are going to always reveal the outer fruits. You all know this, but you got to do that work. So what are you listening to? Obviously, starting with a call like this each day and getting your team members on, getting your prospects on, that's important. Prospects can get on this call because they can get a sense of the culture, they can get a sense of the mindset, they can get a sense of the purpose. And that allows you an exposure before the exposure to the opportunity itself. So you're seeding all the time, you're dripping on prospects all the time with our tools. And Eddie T put up the website, viptravelclub.info, that you can share. This is personal development in the morning, specific strategies that are not going to just help them in the club, it's going to help them in their life. And that does what for you? It allows you to add value constantly to yourself and to the people that you're wanting to build this with and prospect with and bring in as customers only, etc. What are you listening to? When I make calls, I have two apparatuses going. I have the phone, right, making calls, and then then this year I have personal development that I'm listening to. It's always on. There's always something personally development that's going on in terms of the background. Always. Are you doing that? Are you starting your day off setting the right tone energetically Remember when I asked you all to take a couple of moments when you start your day and when you end your day, so you have a bookend of accountability, of setting the sail, as Jim Rohn would say, knowing that I'm going to manage my state before I start making calls. I'm going to talk myself up, not talk down to myself. This is the work, ladies and gents. Listen, to me, building is easy. Exposing people is easy. It's travel. The work is what you're doing up here. And some of you, you have a lot more plaque buildup than others, because others of you, you've been doing this work. You all have already been doing it, so you know what I'm talking about. But you cannot spray paint over the rust of negativity and bad habit patterns, okay? You got to address these first. Do the work, do the sanding first before you start putting on a fresh coat of paint. So ladies and gents, just wanted to give you that to kind of kick off your week. We're going to do a call, and the leaders will make sure that you all get the information on tonight's call, where we're going to really have some fun with the technology in terms of the product side of things, and just share some fun facts about the travel space. I was talking to my son's barber this morning, and he just got back from Cabo, and I was like, so had you taken any trips, you know, since COVID? He said, no. I said, were you hesitant at all because of the pandemic? He said, well, I was nervous going over there, but by the time I got there, they were so on point with, you know, making sure there was sanitizer and masks and all that. He's like, I forgot all about it. He said, I had a fantastic time. He said, we were there for 7 days. And I said, when do you plan on taking your next vacation? He said, in the next, 8 months, within the next 8 months. So we understand that there's this bounce back that's literally taking place in real time with people all around us. So ladies and gentlemen, what you're doing every day is important. Okay, so when you talk to people, just tell them we are in pre-launch mode. Well, when are y'all going live? I don't know. Do you want to secure your spot? When are you going live? I don't know. Do you want to secure your spot? Because they're going to secure their spot regardless. That's the beauty of what we're doing right now. Do not allow that to derail you. Do not allow that to slow you down. If you're here because you want to make money and you want to make impact. Impact drives income. So have an awesome and amazing day. See you guys tomorrow morning, same time, same station. Let's keep making it do what it do. Appreciate you all.